Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for a lovely game of some CEA Siege. Today we are bringing you here with a open league match, I believe this would be. And I am Keldev, of course, joined here today by the lovely Lamb Chops.
Hi, how's it going?
And today we are going to see, I believe that's UCR 18 versus CPP Green Team. And we'll be playing on the lovely map of that is Consulate first.
Consulate, yes.
As it is CPP's turn to attack first. They had chosen to take the starting attack round. As of course, this is also UCR's map pick, so we're expecting some good play out of UCR as we start to head into map bans.
Now, Keldev, do you have any experience casting either of these teams? I'm not really familiar with either of their
This
playstyles.
is actually my first time seeing both these teams, and I, of course, am not familiar with American University, so I'm about to have a fun time trying to remember their names off the bat.
Yeah, I believe UCR is University of California, Riverside, and CPP would be Cal Poly Pomona, I believe, if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Man, I really got to get good at my geography at some point.
Both California teams out West Coast.
Yeah, as a small bit of context, I live in Canada, so American geography is not my strong point, as we will see. Nomad being banned first on Consulate, an operator that just excels at stopping the jump outs, and really good, especially if the teams decide to play out aggressive on the windows. As once you're on the rappel and you're just going ham on the windows, there's nothing really to watch your flank, especially when the defenders can just jump out of like 2 to 3 different windows and attack
absolutely.
you.
And it's good to have something there besides the Claymore, just something a little more you can throw down more of those than you can just throw down one Claymore. So it's nice to have, and the sound cue is going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
Monte and Van we're going to see also.
Yeah, Monty Ban. Another operator that a lot of teams just find very annoying, especially with the amount of intel you could give out. You are sacrificing a gun, but at the same time, you still get so much utility and so much power from after post plants. Really scary operator to fight, given the bad set of circumstances.
Definitely. As we're looking at the first defender ban, Echo, that's something we see pretty standard. Echo isn't getting a lot of play lately. A lot of teams not liking. Oh, I'm sorry.
I feel like when every single team joins, I feel like at some point they signed a contract or something to say that we must have Echo banned. It's at this point like, I mean, I get it, it's a really strong operator. It stops plants, it stops diffuses. Well, actually, we want to stop a diffuse, but still very very strong. But at the same time, it does have counters. Like you could call a Dokkaebi or just shoot it with an IQ below, stuff like that. And the last ban will be Valkyrie as we head into a rehost, as there's been one just small minor hiccup, but we shouldn't be out for too long. Yeah, and we're just currently just going for a little bit of a rehost. I think we should be
this
fine
is being made local.
Yeah, it's supposed to be online.
Perfect.
Always fun to watch open teams play. Honestly, for me, just because I always get exposed a lot to the invite side of things, and it's always a lot of really organized play and really teams that have just been with each other for so long. And sometimes you watch open, it's like those teams can still amaze you. Like you definitely should not sleep on them, as a lot of the teams,
wide variety of levels.
Yeah, like some teams, okay, they're a little bit new, but then they still show some promise with some of the plays, and they still show like they're just there to have a good time, and they definitely are playing characters that would kind of reflect it. Like sometimes I think I've seen like a Fuse get played. I think it was an invite match actually. Either way, characters like Fuse get played, and it's like, you know what? This is quite fun to watch, and it's honestly like you can tell everyone's here just trying to have a good time. And then there's other teams that are like either new to this league in particular, or where do these guys come from? Because I don't know where these guys are just destroying, and they look like they've played with each other throughout like for a long time now. And then sometimes maybe not the scoreboard reflecting it, but at the same time, just you could really see the intelligence behind the plays. It's really fun watching Open. It's always a kind of a bit of a surprise every single time.
Definitely a mixed bag, and we're seeing two in-state teams playing each other. Not sure if there's any animosity there, but I think some increased contention.
Oh yeah,
At least the fact that they're getting the stream tonight.
Once there's a little bit of a lovely, I do believe the Open brackets were set up so that it was kind of more region based. That way you could at least get the preferred server. For example, both these teams, they favor the West Coast server, and I do know there's a fair amount of East Coast teams as well. So the one benefit of this is they actually do get to play on the West Coast server because of all this. So there always will be some fun of some good old classic, who's the better one in California? Let's find out today type of stuff. As once everything starts getting a little bit more closer to home.
All right, and with that, it looks as though we're going to be heading into the match here very soon.
Oh yeah, and it looks
here we go. Right back into Consulate.
First map, first round, on to Consulate with UCR starting defense and CPP starting on attack.
That CPP is going to be really fun to say.
Yeah, I'm already I have Canadian things on my mind where I believe CPP is short for our pension plan. So every time I read it, I keep getting confused. Oh my goodness. I really gotta get good at my American geography someday. This league will actually teach me American geography to a point where I could probably pass a high school class.
Interesting to see that the lobby hold is going to come out first from UCR here. I don't believe that's normally in the meta. They're mixing things up a little bit, including the fact that they're bringing a Goyo.
This is what I'm talking about.
No, I take that back. Goyo isn't as niche as it might have been in the past, but an interesting 6 pick. Also off the Zofia to the Sledge. A very, very classic operator lineup coming out from CPP.
Yeah, they actually 6-picked into the Sledge, seeing the Kaid, thinking, you know what, they're going to go basement with this type of roster, but instead they're going to go on first floor. A little bit, like you said before, definitely not a meta place to go first. But at the same time, I think because of that bait, the Sledge actually became a good operator to bring here because he can just play second floor and start slamming down that floor all the way.
Oh, absolutely. That vertical play is definitely going to... excuse me, mincing my words there. Definitely going to come in handy, especially with the upstairs being soft. Looks as though they are investing some utility into the roam presence upstairs, so it's not going to be uncontested. But that L85 is going to be deadly up top, too.
I said it before, too, and you can already see it happening openly. Teams definitely a lot more willing to get risky and try new things. As Goyo, I feel like at this point now people have got a decent grasp on Goyo's strats. Probably not the most optimized, obviously, because it's still a very new operator to Pro League and whatnot. So, and not only that, but starting off inside main lobby, a site that people always dread defending first. But we'll see just how confident UCR is on defending it. Or is it? Yeah, it is UCR. And we're going to see early drone work already on here on top floor. Is IQ trying to just smoke out admin, see if they could push out from that side. As Thatcher going to be trying to get a little bit of aggro on the front door, keep the defenders on their toes, knowing that the front door is wide open and anyone could be looking that way. As IQ gonna fall for the nice alibi bait.
It is quite ironic that the IQ of all operators is going to fall to that, not fall, but get got by that alibi right there.
Yeah.
It's going to give away their presence upstairs here.
And you can see the alibi already knowing that they're upstairs inside of the site. Sorry, admin already. My goodness, my words are terrible today.
Yeah, mine as well.
And it looks like she will be starting to swing onto the party room area as well. Playing behind this shield as he probably does know that the Mozzie is playing inside of there. Although he should be able to deny quite a bit of vision. Oh my goodness, getting really cocky and sludging that shield because Goyo's in play. It may definitely be a Goyo shield just in case. But it looks like Thermite going to get the opening pick onto the alibi coming up from the spiral stairs. As Jaeger is going to start peeking down the long hallway. Will take down Sledge as Nico takes down Party Kid. That's already a 4-3 left on the board. Minute 10 left on the clock. Still a lot of time for both teams to work with. And definitely keep them both in the game.
So you're seeing now Thatcher's been holding that angle outside front door for this entire round. He's been showing a lot of patience. He doesn't really have any frags to show for his efforts so far. But the Thermite's doing just fine cleaning things up. Pushing in through Visa, he's going to be sandwiching them pretty soon. Pushing them into Thatcher.
Ah, yes, the Thermite in his prime. When there's no walls to be breached, he can just go and he can peek everything. Forget the support role. That thing's off. There's no more walls to breach. Already, I think I'm pretty sure he has credit for both the kills on the attackers so far, or on the defenders so far. But will get taken down as he goes for the plant by the Jaeger, who just walks down the spiral staircase, I do believe. And now he's going to play right back above again.
With 30 seconds left, 2 smokes still on the board, now 20. Diffuser buried in sight. I do believe Smoke can just smoke off this diffuser and wait out the end of this round, and Thatcher being the last one alive, he's waited out front all match. He's going to try and get one, but he's not going to be able to land the shots. UCR is going to take round 1 with their unorthodox defense of main lobby.
Oh yeah. Sometimes, you know, the most unpredictable sites are probably the ones you want to start with. As I do believe they did get thrown for a little bit of a loop, especially with the shield setups from the Goyo, and even like upstairs inside of Party, it did stall them for quite a bit, as they were not able to really push through, as they would have to vault in, causing them to not really be able to move as fluidly as they want to as they peak, giving them Aussie the opportunity. And instead, they had to go wait for the Sludge to come in, stalling in quite a bit of time and stopping the IQ from just being able to freely push without giving out her position immediately. And you can see there the verticality in the end did end up holding up to win them the game, as well as, you know, UCPP, or sorry, I got it backwards. UCR did manage to actually keep control of the top floor the entire round, so they just used those holes and immediately start firing down on to each team.
So we're seeing now a bit more meta pick coming out from UCR. They're going to be taking the second floor CEO office. That's something you see a lot of teams take in the first round. But their operator lineup is also going to be drastically different. No Goyo. I also believe no Kaid. The Mozzie's going to be the same, though. The Jaeger's going to be the same. At its core, it should be a similar defensive lineup. And the attackers, also the same with the exception of Zofia, who's been swapped out for the Sledge.
Oh yeah, and at this point too, the top floor, very, very good for those ACOG operators. So even though they did bring 2 ACOGs and sacrifice the utility, they still will be able to make up for it with all these long angles that the top floor holds on this site. For example, like as you can see here, I think at least one of these ACOG boys are planning on playing inside that connector, while the other one looks like he's going to be playing more toward admin and use his ACOG to fight the windows just a little bit easier.
Oh, IQ's going to drone into admin, and he's going to spot the Rook holding an angle. Fortunately, he doesn't realize that there's a drone behind him, giving away his location. But with that, the IQ is going to decide to peek that angle, an ACOG versus an ACOG here. We're going to see an early aim duel coming out over an admin. He knows about the upside down rappel. IQ's considering re-peeking.
Looks like both of them are going to play a little bit. Oh, might be going for it again. No, so close. But as you can see there, just remembering to pre-aim at the top of the window, waiting for that IQ to peek. But unfortunately, the IQ just trying to get the intel off of the drone to figure out where to be looking first. We'll see if he's able to manage to perfectly realign himself and understand where he needs to peek. But it looks like instead he'll just be aiming just fight a different side of the angle, rather than fighting the lovely, lovely Rook sitting inside of admin. Ooh, it looks like
Thermite just hopping in a yellow stairs. Yeah, as you were saying, they're not aware that he's there. There is a lot of barb blocking his approach, but he has the ACOG. He can hold a long, deadly angle, especially with bathroom now being open. And yeah, he can almost peek all the way to A site through the connector.
And at this point too, he's gonna just take the little bit of mileage to start droning out, but Jaeger is gonna be right below that area. Might be able to pull off a flank here if he does decide to go for it, as I don't think he has too much to cover him, as there's no C4 behind him, as IQ just gonna repel right in, immediately get himself a nice double kill. Minute left on the clock. This is pretty huge for the attackers right now. They did leave the diffuser on top of the rooftop. Looks like the Thatcher's going to go get it, as Big Z getting a kill on Desus. The Jaeger and, sorry, my goodness. The Monty. No, that's wrong opportunity. The Rook getting a double kill as the IQ finishes it out. My goodness, I am tired for some reason.
It happens.
Long day.
Attack almost stalling out there. They left the diffuser on the roof. They went to go get it. All of a sudden, their 2-5 lead completely evaporated. They were able to clutch it out in the end, bringing us now to an even tie. Instead of trying for the second floor again, it seems as though UCR is going to push for garage. Another solid pick. Used to be one of the top side picks on this map.
Oh yeah. I'm kind of curious to see if they will end up 6-picking into the anti-breach operator to kind of bait out the ability of them to go up top floor again and possibly retry it. As generally speaking, yep, there, I believe that will be it. The 6-pick from Jaeger into Cade. Kind of interesting as they don't bring any anti-grenades and there is a Buck and Zofia in place, so we'll see just how much the attackers are going to be able to take advantage of that. And it looks like we'll be heading into our nice, lovely drone phase, as the attackers are bringing in the IQ, Buck, Thermite, and Zofia. Really good operators, especially for this site, as Thatcher is going to be able to just make the Kaid's life a living hell, as he's going to try to contest and trick the wall, but more than likely will be unsuccessful as the Thatcher can just... He has 3 grenades, the Kaid has 2 charges. The math is in his favor already off the bat.
Especially against the teamwork between the frags Buck brings, Zofia's ability to also cause damage or stun the Kaid while the Thatcher's throwing EMPs. CPP really shouldn't have any trouble opening this wall up if they're able to put up a coordinated attack.
Now I'm curious about to see is just... Ooh, actually, the top floor hold coming from Nico. As you can see, already using the verticality again, as a lot of, Buck and Sledge players may decide to enter through front door rather than opting to go upside down rappel in the window, especially because, actually, you have a Buck in this case, so they could go for the window if they want. Alternatively, they could also go for third floor as well and try to use that super long angle to keep themselves safe from getting pre-fired on the window. But does look like they're going to be going for that as they're already setting up to take the top floor from admin side.
It is interesting to see so many operators, not so many operators, but just so much invested in a top floor hold on a basement defense.
And Vigil here going to be using his ability quite often, as there is an IQ that's going to be one of the attackers peeking. Might be able to see a little bit of her gadget usage to be able to locate him and see if he's going to peek anywhere soon. I do believe that should be within the 20-meter range. Yeah, it is, definitely, because that ping is only 15 meters away. And it looks like he's going back up into projector room. As Party Kid going to walk up, and Desus will take down the Buck. That is a pretty important kill to get off early on the map. Also leaving Desus into 1 HP as Han Mono Hito takes down Ender Pikmin from the basement as they peek over to the open thermite hole.
Does seem as though this upstairs top floor roam is being effective, as we're seeing Mozzie almost get a second kill. Wisely deciding to just rotate out as the Zofia is pushing them out, but half the round is gone. Half the round is gone, and 7 of the initial 10 operators are still on the board here. The only caveat is that garage door's been opened, but Boomer Bill's going to get a very, very long peek using the hollow off the Maestro. Now a 4-2. This is looking very, very strong for UCR.
With the headshot as well, just immediately pulling himself into the... Oh my goodness, Nico with the... Watching the bottom of this reinforcement, just watching the feet, trying to see if he can get anyone standing still, and also kind of give a little bit of information of when he should be starting to play more aggressive, trying to retake. It looks like he does hear the drop from the IQ as he does move his crosshair over toward it. And it looks like the Maestro Cam will also spot her out as she goes for the barbed wire. He's going to peek out immediately and take down Party Kid. Looks like he's going to start getting aggressive here as he opens up the yellow door immediately. And might be going for a nice peek onto the Zofia, unless the Zofia does manage to get one shot on him, as he is very, very low health.
Yeah, that is a good thing to point out. UCR does have 4 operators left, but 2 of them are just on barely any HP. However, the other 2 both have ACOGs and are on full health, and now there's 10 seconds left. Doesn't seem likely that Zofia's going to be able to clutch this out, especially with diffusers so far away.
Oh yeah, at this point, he's going to have to just wallbang every single person at the speed of sound, but it is not going to happen. And UCR will take the defense onto basement. probably going to see a nice return onto top floor, but if they really are feeling confident on their lobby hold, they might actually do it again. And I want to take a bet if they do go back to lobby, they probably do practice the site quite a bit. Yep, and we'll be seeing the lobby hold. I want to take a bet and say they actually do practice this quite a bit, and they're probably now there are always like a wide variety of teams, right? You have the teams that will just practice the meta and go over and over and over, make sure that they're really solid at doing so, right? And then you have the teams that decide, you know what, everyone's gonna expect us to be like amazing at top floor, and that's gonna be the site to take. But if we actually get super good at contesting the bottom floor, or in this case the lobby, uh, we can actually throw a lot of teams off. And as long as we're comfortable doing so first, they probably won't have as much experience attacking it. As in order to actually attack this fight, usually you would have to lose 2 times in a row. And at that point, you're already like shaky on your confidence on everything. So UCR definitely trying to take advantage of the like lack of preparations that some teams have on the site, and try to bring their own amount of preparations too, so that way they can feel a lot more confident in holding it and taking it. And as you can see here, so far they do have one victory on this side of the map, so definitely confident in doing so.
I think it also just goes to show, again, proving your point that here in the open league, we get all sorts of strats, and it's just very, very fun to watch. You see a very open style of play.
Oh yeah, and even if they're going like main lobby first, definitely not to be counted out as anything, because they for sure look like they have been setting this up perfectly. Because I think throughout the both rounds they've been setting up around the same, and so it's really thought out and actually like mapped out on something. And then they just practice it over and over and make sure that they're comfortable in taking this or holding the site first. This is their home.
This has been a very, very smooth execute on their setup. You saw no one had any hesitation, everyone knew exactly where to put their utility. And now this time, instead of the Thatcher, it seems though it's going to be the Buck out front causing some mayhem. Not exactly sure where the Thatcher is. He's droning, so again, he's not going to be holding the angle this time. He's going to be playing the support. IQ in upstairs once again. This time, hasn't shot any alibis.
And she's been getting him pretty quickly. She's been getting him very quickly, as I feel like every single time now at this point they're just doing some light droning and admin, and then just immediately just swing in. Because
sorry,
I do remember
getting fooled. I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sorry about that.
The first time I do remember there was a rook that she did drone out and immediately decided to go the other way. But every single time afterwards, it's just been empty. She's just been, 2 minutes left on the clock, immediately inside of admin, already pushing up, and as it's like Jaeger going to be trying to go for some shots into CEO window there, as it would lead from the other side, is the rest of attackers are going to start to push onto this projector window area. Ooh, shots going back and forth as some CEO pressure being applied into connector, causing it to. Oh my goodness!
Oh.
Immediately Desus gets the frag onto Roki Boy, and Big Z gets the refrag from outside a projector window. Really good timing to be looking at that side, and really good awareness as well. Ooh, actually, I thought that was a fake alibi for a solid second, as Boomer Bill watching this flank as he tries to get out of the room and try to give himself a little bit of more breathing space, as the attackers will start to pinch in onto projector now with a minute left on the clock, trying to make some decent pace here, as Ying now just taking control, and looks like we'll be trying to play a little bit aggressive on the people below. Doesn't see the Legion, even though he's just right in the corner there, unfortunately, as Nico will take down Big Z, and Waller's just immediately getting the refrag. Hanmono immediately just going right back in and into sight, but the verticality just coming in and punishing them as they left it alone now.
Absolutely, Ying's been able to post up upstairs and just lobber Candelas through the floor and just pick off some players. However, the upstairs verticality, they haven't left anyone to watch upstairs. The defenders have just gone up and shot them through their own holes.
Yeah, it's as if they actually literally switched positions. Like, the attackers had control of upstairs, and then suddenly just completely switched. The defenders were upstairs and the attackers were downstairs. They actually timed it perfectly to be able to rotate cleanly. That way, the second that the attackers left and tried to focus on plant, the defenders were just right in their positions. I'm not even sure what even happened there.
Yeah, I got really confused. I saw Ying was shooting people through the floor, and all of a sudden, Saw someone shoot through the floor, but it was Ying getting killed. Just like that, they'd switch their entire squads from floors.
And the defenders on UCR really showing that their comfort as they take it again. That's 2 rounds now. That's 2 times now that they actually have been able to take that lobby and putting them in a pretty good 3-1 lead so far on defense. And they will be going back to console. Now this one has been a little shaky for them as they did that one win that the attackers do have is from the console meeting room site itself. So I'm interested to see if we see any adaptations coming in from UCR here. Actually, as soon as I say that, they're already 6-picking into the mute and not opting to take the double ACOG. So it's already one little minor change. Kind of killing out the droning power, especially with the mute Mozzie combination. Gonna allow the defenders to play a little bit more comfy about, not have to worry about getting droned out. As, Party Kid just gonna throw his drone right into sight and try to confirm it early, but will get taken out immediately at the cost of that information.
That's something I think we see a lot, especially at the lower levels, and I'm not saying that this is a lower level whatsoever, but the way the drone economy is regarded, especially as you increase your time and experience playing this game, you start to realize just the value of drones instead of just a mad rush for the site. And I think it is fair to just throw one into the grinder because you need to be able to see who's there, and even that quick glimpse is going to give you a lot of information. But as you can see, all the other drones from CPP are still up, I believe.
And we always have that infamous match from BDS where they ended up kind of just playing more like super reserved with their drones, and you can see how it ended up punishing them later. As even though they tried playing so reserved with their drones, they ended up completely fooling themselves into believing the incorrect site was the pick, and then ended up using a lot of utility onto that basement site and ended up being punished for it. So you always got a different style of teams with their drone economy. It looks like they did only sacrifice one drone for the sake of getting the information, though. Ooh, shots just getting immediately onto the admin window. Looks like when they're up top war, they are actually trying to focus a little bit more on admin, trying to slow down the attackers, as this is definitely some ground that you do not want to give uncontested on the top floor, as this room itself just gives the attackers so much kind of like confidence and threat from pushing in, as D6 gonna headshot Han Mono from the Visa stairs, stopping the push onto his fellow defenders from the side.
This is the second time we've seen an engagement here in admin office. It's the Rook and the IQ squaring off in those windows, but it seems like IQ's since rotated off. Yep, and IQ's going to be on the other side of the building. Not on the other side of the building, but actually looking to push the Rook from behind. It seems now he's aware that he might be getting pushed from 2 angles. Again, not knowing that the IQ has since rotated off. It's going to be difficult for him to rotate out as he's going to get taken out by the Thatcher. And now, with that being said,
oh my goodness,
control has been taken. Ender Pikmin's going to take one. The Thatcher's going to get a second. We'll be looking at a solid 3-3.
Ender Pikmin actually just holding down that spot in the end as he was trapped and pinched. Didn't manage to optimize and get 1 kill off of that. Really good for him. Oh, the TK! He wasn't aware that that was his buddy out the diffuser onto the top spiral stairs, and we'll take him out without a second's notice. Unfortunate, but nonetheless, we still have a minute left. 3 defenders left on the board. CPP in a little bit of predicament here, as UCR will end up taking both of them down with headshots and all at once. Oh my goodness, he was just suddenly on site. Now, final round for the defensive UCR. Gonna see back a return onto Cafeteria Garage, as they did win last time, so they're gonna be coming in here with some confidence. I do believe they ended up playing, third floor and trying to hold out the vertical angles as they do on lobby, and then try to use that against the attackers. And I do believe at a certain point they did, and the attackers ended up taking down all of admin, pushing in from there and trying to stop the defenders from being able to just freely, shoot down above and try to get that verticality. But unfortunately, UCR ended up coming up on top on that round overall.
Does seem as though, let's see, let me check my notes here. Last time they took basement, just as you said, it was the verticality that came into question, though there was a fantastic pick by the Maestro also through 2 open walls out the garage door, the headshot onto, I believe, the thermite. Ended up changing the course of that round.
Oh yeah, and one you can see there too, like with the ability of Thatcher actually being in the game, you can actually get that wall open so easily, whereas other times you would have to just struggle with all those roamers and spend all that time trying to fish them out just so you can open up that wall in the end. And the Thermites generally just are told, okay, you're gonna sit out here and you're waiting for us to clear the top, and you're just sitting there and you're waiting, and you're waiting, and you're waiting, and then you start losing hope, and then you start trying to, take matters into your own hands, see if you could bait out some of the coyote charges just to play around with them, or possibly you just spend both your drones trying to drone out for your fellow attackers and see if you can get some stuff down. But in the end, it's half the reason why a lot of people always get bored playing Thermite, as you just end up sitting there and just do nothing. I'm going to be seeing the start of the attack round now as we are on basement. We're going to have the ACOG coming in from Rook again, as he's going to be playing on site, trying to take advantage of that long angle once the garage wall does get open, since it will get open quite easily, even with the Twitch drone here too, just in case, just to guarantee that that wall gets open. Not only that, but she does have a good gun, so it's always worth it. One electric call will go down. Looks like he might be trying to throw down the second one, see if he can immediately catch it. Yes, he will. And immediately here comes the second as he picks it up. We'll immediately throw it down the third time, see if he can catch him off guard. But the Twitch will take it down. Down goes the Maestro cam at the same time, too. And the wall is open. 2 minutes in.
Just like that, yeah. It did seem he was just being able to pull a quick one on the Thatcher there, but the Twitch wasn't taking any chances getting rid of that. And with that, yeah, they have 2 minutes to work with an open garage door. Things have really, really opened up here for CPP. Again, this happened the last time they played basement, and they weren't able to convert, though. So the round is far from over. There's plenty of time to play.
Yeah, you can see Big Z and I believe the Thatcher behind him, trying to focus more on the garage play. See if they could, just get in really clean by. But if, oh my goodness, if that Twitch holds down the left click a little bit to the left, that is a headshot on the Maestro. And that's also a softball, too, so... Ooh, looks like he will get himself out of there before Big Z even thinks about just, shooting a shot out. And Wallens will take down Ender Pikmin with the upside down repel behind the garage window.
I didn't even know that existed. I don't think I've seen that done before.
Right there, that's
just like
how
that, the
you know.
diffuser's going to be going down behind the van. They're not going to be able to spot it or stop it in time. He's going to pull off at the last second. He's going to end up getting the kill, though, and it's now a 1v2. Boomer Bill has no choice but to try and clutch this out. With the Zofia out, he is able to down her, but the diffuser is going to go down. He might be able to get the last one as they run out of the garage, and he sees the head, but he's not able to get the shot. He's going to have to stop to reload. Thermite, in the meantime, is just going to play on diffuser. He knows where he is. He has to wait to get pushed by the Maestro. He does have 81 bullets, though. That Alda is going to be able to absolutely pour all sorts of pre-fire down. But all Thermite needs to do is land a couple shots onto the Maestro, which he's not going to be able to do. Boomer Bill is going to take this one, putting UCR up 5-1, as I believe we're going into the half.
And you can see the Thermite getting a little antsy, as his main objective at that point was to just stall out for the diffuser's timer. Doesn't really need to take the initiative to peek out too much, especially as you said before, Alda just 80-something bullets. That's a lot of pre-fire bullets to just start getting thrown out there with willy-nilly. And as you can see there, I do believe he did peek around the time that he started firing, so it ended up just being a nice transfer for the Maestro, and ended up giving him the round. And that's now a halftime swap now. So we'll be seeing the attack coming in from UCR as it's CPP's turn to defend. And we'll see if maybe, every single map known in this game is pretty much defender-sided, except for possibly Coastline. So we'll see if, the side swapping will make a really big difference for CPP, or if UCR is going to be able to take it out for just 2 more rounds.
There, once again, I love to comment on the classic operator lineup. I mean, each team only has, I believe, one DLC operator. The rest are original operators to the game. Something that's kind of just a little bit of nostalgia there.
Yeah, people always say, like, oh, these DLC operators are always like busted, stuff like that. But then, honestly speaking, you're kind of right. Like most of the picks are usually like on the classic operators. You can always see a Jaeger in every single game possible.
Absolutely.
Doc mains, oh yes, there always exists like one
with his MP5 ACOG. Nothing can replace that.
Castle, I will say Castle's the more like unlikely person to see, and Also kind of interesting that they just hard picked it straight up there. Actually, he brought the shotgun too. Not really. It's always interesting to see someone bring the shotgun, as the UMP, of course, famed for being the worst gun in the game.
Oh, absolutely.
And now he's gonna opt to take the shotgun instead. Just fight with the shotgun than the UMP.
I mean, he doesn't want to
See
use the
what
worst
type
gun
of
in the game.
angles. Yeah, I'm interested to see what angles he ends up playing with it, because like at this point now, this, like I said before, this is a very long distant map. It looks like, yeah, he's gonna play onto yellow stairs using the double ADSs and his shotgun to be able to hold down the short area. Actually, really well thought out from CPP there.
Now, he is going to be vulnerable from the skylight. However, those two ADSs are going to come very much in handy. No Thatcher on the attacking side. Do anything about that. And honestly, not a ton of frags with the exception of the sledge. He's going to be holed up pretty well there, assuming the rest of his team can hold up around him.
Oh yeah, and at that point too, even if no one even comes his direction, he could just swap out to the pistol and take those long-range engagements. That pistol, probably one of my more favorite in the game, is that thing has saved me from so many situations. Ooh, looks like we're gonna get some nice little melee holes into the, I believe that's admin there. As Holman, oh, sorry, I keep reading this and like the M is like, I feel like I'm like half dyslexic, because like I just see the M and like end switch every single time. I always mispronounce that thing. I'm bad.
It's a name with a lot of vertical lines.
Yeah, Hanmano gonna be using those angles to watch over, as Jaeger gonna be rotating over to the basement, as he did get spotted out from the IQ. And he's gonna try to play a little bit more passive here, let the attacker start to worry about his positioning, and possibly catch them off guard as he's in that basement. Something that a lot of people always forget exists, especially on top floor sites. Ooh, the window's just getting opened all around the Doc and Rook, but both the ACOG boys sticking it out to the end, trying to make sure that they can cover each other on each window and leave no area left unwatched. As Nico going to be walking up the spiral stairs now.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Now, there is only 1 minute left in the round. They have done a good job of at least slowing down, if not stalling the attack. The ACOG boys, ACOG gang, still in the admin side. No one's really forced them out yet. They're taking some shots on. There we go. Nico's going to be able to get the first pick, and Boomer Bill's going to take the second one. ACOG boys are no more. Jaeger playing downstairs, able to pull back the man count a little bit, but now with 45 seconds left, we're still looking at what's looking. Excuse me. The diffuser's going to go down from Ender Pikmin. There are only two defenders left to stop this, but they're both not anywhere nearby. Ash is pinning the Maestro down by this window. It looks like the pre-fire is not necessarily going to land, but again, that Alda having all those bullets, the stun will do something though. I just need to sit and watch.
And Roki gonna get one of the kills, start to push things a little bit more in the defender's favors. Unfortunately, we'll get taken down from Ein Tyler as Big Z finally gets his rotate, gets himself inside his side, takes down the IQ. Two operators left for the attack. Gonna have to pull something out here, but fortunately, you can see here the verticality play open up. Gonna put a little pressure on him. Gonna start to go for the defuse. The call's gonna start getting made, as I do believe they have a drone somewhere in the area. The Sledge just immediately rushing in, taking him down. That was actually, I feel like that Maestro possibly was in a decent spot to actually get the plan complete, as they did have to run him quite a bit, but I think he only got like maybe 2 ticks or 3 ticks. I'm not even sure. But even though, really good to use that intelligence from UCR to be able to capitalize on the fact that they're defusing. Immediately, but you can see both attackers just full sprint toward the site, and whoever gets there first gets the kill.
We did see that was a little more of a slow, methodical attack, but in the end, it very much got the job done. Taking their time to drone out, find the attackers, both that Doc and Rook playing an admin, hanging out there for a long time, but both of them dying within probably 5 to 10 seconds of each other from the push-up spiral stairs. It was very, very effective attack, and well thought out by UCR.
Yeah, I just want to highlight, too, both ACOG boys ended up stalling out that admin push till 40 seconds into the round. So in the end, as roamers, I would say they honestly probably did their job there, as even though they didn't get too much kills, I don't think they got any kills from that angle, but they still did it, stop the attackers from being able to take that admin side for majority of the round. So really good on them to be able to just keep the pressure and you know, sell a lot of time there, as time is definitely an expensive factor for the side of the attackers. You know, 3 minutes may seem like a lot, but once you start realizing how much angles and areas you want to be cautious of, you start to realize you don't really have all that much time. You got to push.
Yes, we're now on to what is match point. UCR took the first round, CPP took the second, and it has been all UCR ever since. They've won 5 in a row, looking to make this 6 and finish out here on excuse me, I'm sorry, Consulate. Oh no.
Yes, I see you also have my 4 hours of sleep kicking in.
And whose map pick was this again?
This was UCR's map pick.
So that makes sense that they are being very
especially
dominant.
with the ways they've been playing. Like, you could really see the amount of comfort they had just picking lobby over and over. Like, this definitely is, most definitely, their comfy map pick. And we're gonna see now the attack coming in. UCR just looking to take out that one more round as they start to drone in, get that IQ to see if they could catch the Vigil around and maybe hopefully get a wall bang. As they're gonna start pushing their drones up from the positions, seeing it start closing in the intel and trying to figure out where everyone's hiding. As Vigil gonna be inside of Visa, using that a gadget to kind of fake out his position. Now this is really strong positioning for the Vigil, as he does have the hatch to rotate behind him with double impacts. And not only that, but the lines will show up just as much on Consulate, on admin there, and from basement. So if anyone tries pushing either or, they're gonna not know which exact spot he's gonna be. As Party Kid gonna take down Boomer Bill. That's the first kill for CPP.
Onto the Twitch, that is. Doesn't seem as though anyone. Oh, and the IQ. IQ is gonna get downed in admin there by Hanmono.
Yes, as you can see there, the Vigil ability just really came in useful there. I think they did probably think he was up in Consulate, as he did have Jaeger up there as well. So kind of giving them the illusion that he's up there. Jumped in the window freely and just got caught out. As Party Kid gonna take down DSys now. That's 2 people left on the side of UCR. CPP looking very strong this round. Minute left on the clock.
Now. The Jaeger, is going to be rotating down yellow stairs. I'm not sure what the attackers may have stalled out here just a little bit. Oh no, and as I say that, a Thatcher is going to get 1 kill through the glass on the skylight, able to bring it back just 1, and they have a minute, which should be plenty of time to work with. They do have the verticality. The defenders are just going to sit back and wait.
And they have a minute left. They have a lot of time they could start, kind of using to stall out. They don't need to play too aggressively here. They have the numbers advantage. And not only that, but as you can see here, the wall still electrified. But the last 2 are the Hibana and Thatcher. So we're going to probably see a little bit of wall play as the Kaid going to be opting to throw down that charge immediately afterwards. Going to actually leave himself a little bit prone to getting hit on the left side wall, which they will go for, as it is completely uncontested by the Kaid charge. And now at this point, no more electric calls left on the board. And the attackers are going to have to push in on a 2v3 with 20 seconds left on the clock. We're going to see a nice fast push here as Big Z gets I'm Tyler. Ender Pikmin, watching from above, going to drop that hatch right into the middle of all the defenders and get taken down by Roki Boy in the end.
Wow, and just like that, that little window opened up in the garage. Wasn't able to accomplish very much, didn't open up any angles for them, and in the end they had no choice but to push right through yellow stairs and drop hatch right into the meat grinder of basement.
And the roam play from CPP that round did really, really well, as you see the Vigil just kind of baiting them from trying to figure out what floor he's on. The IQ, unfortunately, was not in the position to really see the tracker getting pinged. And I think even if he might have, the Vigil wasn't moving too much, so it may not have been very obvious, because I don't if you ever play IQ, you get on that scanner, you kind of train yourself to learn the pulse icon because of the amount of times that your job is to kill the pulse. But the Vigil one, a little bit more obscure, I won't lie. But especially when it starts moving, it becomes way more obvious. But when you're standing still, it could be disguised as a camera, especially because I think there is a default cam right above him. And actually, the Frost... Oh, never mind. As soon as I say it, I try every single time I see a Frost get picked, I always never mention it until it actually gets stuck, because every single time I ever have, it always gets 6-picked.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
And there it is.
bombs.
I wait till the last 5 seconds, get 6-picked. Oh boy, my favorite op, always never getting any place to shine in Pro League. And I don't blame people, because obviously, even though the trap sound is very loud, it's very hard to tell which trap went off, and also if the trap even went off if no one's playing too aggressively around it. So in the end, the Frost trap's not the greatest of traps in the game. especially compared to Legion, where like of course pre-nerf, able to see every single one of his traps and just gets a hive mind of information, which thank God they're getting rid of, because oh my goodness, this by far annoyed me the most about this operator.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Oh, we're seeing the Doc attempt to spawn peek through the trees. Doesn't look as though there's any customers. In this case,
Yeah, it
he's
looks
going to be
like-
holding a futile angle there. But they are going to repel up onto admin, it seems like, again. Giving some pressure once again. The ACOG boys looking for another engagement here.
Watch, just now we're gonna get like a rap cover album of like ACOGs. Just
Hashtag
Doc and Rook
ACOG
posing.
boys.
Yeah, like, you ever look at the bundle skin for, I think it's Smoke, Mute, and the other SAS operators, where they're all in the white camo gear? Oh my...
No.
Yo, Party Kid just jumps out right here. Oh my
It's a
goodness.
free
Like,
triple.
they're all on cams.
Someone can run out Visa right now.
Oh
no.
my goodness. I mean, honestly, you can't blame them for not doing so, because there's no way of knowing, but if they decided to get super aggressive and just jump out right there, that would be a very scary situation.
Yeah, especially while down
ECR.
6-2 on match point.
Oh yeah, that will
can
definitely
understand
give
a little
CPP the little bit of advantage there. As Boomer Bill gonna get the kill onto Party Kid. That is the Jaeger down, and we're gonna see a minute 44 seconds left on the clock. The attacker's starting to push up a little bit more, but Roki gonna take down IQ while standing in the middle of Spiral Stairs. Not worried about that skylight whatsoever.
Has been located.
Looks like they will, a minute 30 seconds, finally get control of the admin site, or admin area, and start to work all the destructibility and start to push themselves a little bit more forward. My goodness. Oh, looks like we got a little bit of a split push here, as the Ash opting to go toward the window of CEO, but doesn't clear the ADS before launching the lovely... I forgot what it's called because she's wearing the thing skin, but the Slither, I guess, in this case. And
as the Legion's been spotted out upstairs. Now, and there we go. Roki's going to claim another one on that ACOG there. Enter Pikmin's going to get the refrag. We're now looking at a minute left, even man count. Ash being patient on this upside down repel, but the Legion Warren's is going to take another one. That Evil Eye is going to give Ash just the slightest amount of damage, but not enough to make a difference. It's also important to note that the diffuser's down over by, I believe that's bathroom, if not top spiral. So they're going to need to go pick that up or frag out here.
flash, and I get a little bit of pressure from that window as the ADS is closed. But he will be able to tell if they're repelling in, as he will be able to hear it. As I do think UCR will be able to take control of admin. Oh, never mind. One projector, but he will get taken down from behind as Tyler runs in, pulls out that pistol, takes down, I believe that is the Doc, and now she's down to Big Z as the Thatcher of Tyler just trying to clutch it out. Does look like he is able to hear it a little bit, the plan's going off, but not deciding to push in immediately. Does finish off the Ash, make sure that there's no makes there no revival. Now it's just down to a 1v1, and Tyler trying to close this out for his team, while Big is just really trying to keep going, but it looks like UCR will close it out, as Tyler does go for the peak and immediately gets the head of the Maestro there. And right there, we got the 7-2 scoreline for UCR on their map pick, showing a dominant display on this map. My goodness, I do believe the next map is a cafe on the side of CPP's pick, and they actually have to attack that first as well. So gonna have to really see how much rounds they end up picking off attack here, as that map is fairly defender sided, and they're gonna be able to take this little bit of a break if they decide to take so, just to get kind of recollected and remember that, you know what, it's okay, that was their map pick. We're still going to our map pick afterwards. This is our choice. We are comfortable here, and we can most definitely take some rounds off.
That is difficult, though. I mean, you just got kind of outclassed on bank there, and you won the second round, but then you dropped 5 in a row. You're able to take one attack, but then you lose the second. So at least you had the even round count on the attack. That being said, this was UCR's map. They did play a slightly unorthodox defense with the emphasis on the lobby and quite a lot of vertical play. So there's absolutely potential for CPP to come back here and grind out a win on Cafe. I believe you said it was Cafe?
Yeah, it is Cafe.
Awesome. I
And
want to make
looks
sure.
like they will be opting to take that 5-minute break of intermission, as I do believe CPP is actually subbing somebody in that's different for this round, as the other team just going to take a nice breather, use the washroom, drink some tea, and unlike me, probably wake up because I am, holy goodness. It's always funny because you never realize like how much being tired actually affects you until like 5 seconds of this cast. I cannot pronounce a single person's name and I completely forget what both teams were.
Mm.
And we are just gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to a lovely game of CEA Open. We have UCR versus CPP, and if you didn't able to catch it before, UCR did win on map 1 for a consulate, and now we'll be heading into Cafe oh my goodness,
Oh no.
Dostoevsky. I will never be able to pronounce that in my life. Dostoevsky. There we go. And we'll be heading in to map bans now, as UCR going to be starting on the defense and going to hopefully for them get themselves a nice solid lead, as this map is infamous for just being so hard to attack from the side of the attackers. It's top, like pretty much I think every single site you have to go top floor down. And that top floor, you definitely do not get that many angles to enter from, as you're either jumping down a hatch or you're playing on windows, and if you're not too strong at playing on windows upside down, generally gets a little bit mucky trying to play on it, and especially when defenders could just jump out from the bottom if they please and immediately just look straight up and take you out too. Makes it a very, very fun game to play.
Yes, especially in this new reworked cafe, we're going to see the Nomad ban. Once again, just as you were talking about with all that Roman run-out potential, seeing a Nomad off the board is definitely going to make things interesting, especially from the attackers.
Yeah, that's CPP's ban pick. And I do remember last time, I think was CPP playing strong on Windows, right? As because their first starting part was to attack, and we had no IQ, just immediately got inside of what's it called, admin, and then pushed the other sides pushed up from admin as well. So it looks like they're kind of comfy without having the need of a Nomad, as they just immediately try to play more aggressive on Windows. The second that intel is good, that you can walk in, just immediately repel in and don't waste any time. And the mirror ban actually coming out. Kind of find that one interesting, because mirror, generally speaking, doesn't have as strong spots compared to other maps. I mean, you could definitely put it on like Freezer Wall, but that's one site out of 3. And generally, Mira, one of those operators, it's always your safe defense ban, because at this point every team's used to playing without it, but I feel like they probably could have flexed that onto something else.
So we're going to see again, now that we're going through the meta sites as we're talking. Third floor cocktail bar. It's new reworked. Well, not so new anymore, but with a balcony. That's very much within the meta. Seeing something a little more orthodox from UCR to start out map 2.
And it looks like CPP going to be trying to take advantage of the Jackal not being banned. See if they can catch out any roamers from beneath. But we'll just see how exactly they play the Jackal. Actually, a 6th pick into the Montaigne from the Maverick. Gonna really help be able to take more aggressive pushes, especially on the site where it's a little bit scarier for the attackers to push. Might give them a much better comfort on peeking those angles, especially with the Monty just be a giant wall for them. Now, are we gonna see? Okay, for a second I thought they were gonna double reinforce the bathroom, which would have been a little bit weird, as a lot of teams love putting that shotgun mute right in there, using that jammer just to be able to stop any drones from being able to drone them out, kind of creating a little bit of animosity around that little corner. And is he actually playing her, or did he get out? There's no way to know. You just have to peek and find out if you get blasted by the shotgun later.
5 seconds.
In the prep phase, going to be 2 more signal sectors in his gadget inventory, trying to quickly get those and the the walls open, as the black guy will be thrown right outside that window as well, and gonna give him a little bit of advantage on trying to jump out or play a little bit aggressively on any of those angles that the camera can see, especially with Nomad being banned.
Something else to notice here is the taking of the Montaigne. So a Monty, an op that was banned in the last map, immediately being taken by CPP here to start. Wonder if that ban in the previous map was targeted, or if it's just luckier that we're seeing him come out. Or luck that they managed to ban him. He might be an important part of the CPP attack.
Because I know it works like this for Inv, but I'm not sure if it's the same for Open. But at this point, I think every single team has, at this point, fought each other at least once. So at this point, they're just doing like that lap one more over. So I think they probably were aware that, they will bring the Monty if we leave it up on the board. So if we take it out of the map, possibly we want to make ourselves a little bit easier as we push them into a little bit more uncomfortable areas. And, quite possibly they could just have that note left down that, this is definitely a team that will use Monty if left up on the board. And you can see here Monty just going for that early push, immediately onto the Jaeger. Gonna use the sight, and the Jaeger gonna be smart, peeking at the doorway where his buddies will have to peek from. And Thatcher on low health already from that peek as they get the piano wall open and further pressure out that Jaeger in the corner. One Maestro cam goes down. Ooh, two people peeking from that pixel angle over there. And Jaeger gonna be pushing up on, as the Monty's in the room. He's gonna pull out his pistol, try to take him down, but D-Sys gonna just stop them and make sure that none of them be able to push in further and take down a lot of the attackers. Thatcher gonna go for some friendly fire there, bringing down the attackers even lower than they already were. D-Sys taking down Big Z, and Nico finishing the game off with Han Mono being eliminated from the board from that. Oh my goodness, that angle.
There's a triple, I believe, from D-Sys playing up there in piano. Just completely shredding all the attackers that walked right in. All came from red stairs. 3 of them met an end at D-Sys with his 416.
Yeah, showing no fear to the Monty. And that's definitely how I feel like you should be playing that situation. As the Monty is just going to be able to kind of give out intel. And if you kind of stare at the Monty, you're going to end up going to get caught out by the people coming afterwards. You know that Monty's not going to shoot you. So as you can see from his crosshair play, he just kept his crosshair on where the other attackers would be coming from the entire time. Kind of just not even bothering to aim at the Monty altogether. And really, really good play from D-Sys from that round. And now we'll be going to kitchen side as they prompt to 6-pick into the castle. An operator that definitely gets some play onto this site, as you are able to kind of limit the amount of areas that the attackers kind of rotate to. As you could lock out, if you decide to do so, all of the small bakery, and kind of, if they do decide to push into bakery, limit them from being able to just immediately rotate and get themselves down the long hall, or possibly make them have to take a little bit more of an uncomfortable approach using some of the lovely impact grenades, as you see here. See, this way, when they have to go to peek to go for the flank, they actually just have to, they don't have to play the 50-50 of left side or right side of the doorway or whatnot. It's more so just, you know, all the way at the end through that hole. And not only that, but that doorway, I do believe you can see from the small bakery window there as well. And I think that might also possibly open up a long, quite a bit of angle. Either way, that lovely impact hole is probably one of my favorites, as it just kind of makes any flanks through that hole just a little bit more unsuspecting.
I always love to see, yeah, as you said, a decent amount of castle play with the impacts. Something a little unorthodox, but just enough to trip up the attackers, like you were talking about.
As you can see here, they're just going to be holding down bakery, using those ADSs, going to stop any grenades from taking down the Mozzie, who's going to be playing comfortably back there, using his spiders to kind of leave the factor of whether or not he's up there a little bit more of a mystery, as Party Kid going to be actually getting to use his breaching charges to break open the hatch, instead of having the hatch broken in front of his very eyes, even though he put the breaching charge already. And Sludge, oh, you can see that, you can see himself looking at the hatches, being like, okay, time to sludge it, and nothing's there.
Just having the hatch robbed.
Interesting to see here as well, they actually opted to leave the bakery wall soft, really banking on the fact that the Mozzie is able to hold this down, because if he ends up failing and they lose sight of bakery, that's a really good spot for the attackers to be in. And oh no, the Vigil just quick peeks a little bit too fast there. Didn't manage to finish off or get the kill onto the Sludge there, and will get taken down as he's in a pinch. Really unfortunate. I feel like if he actually just held down the aim and shoot a little bit faster, I don't know if he had a vertical grip or the angle grip on, but I feel like that was a headshot just like 1 frame or 2 frames away from happening.
Mm-hmm. Do we also we saw D-Sys put that ADS down on that counter right in front of him. Did he hold on to that for the half of the first round just to throw down right there?
I think he may have forgot accidentally that he still had one more in his setup, and then probably just threw it down.
As he has since
generally, you only generally you only see people like hold on to the ADS like that when they're playing something like Yellow Stairs on Consulate, throwing it down last second. His Party Kid gonna start the action going, getting the kill onto one of the defenders there. At this point now, we're at a 3v4. Really good, decent spot for the attackers, but as long as they do commit to a push here, because at this point the clock is ticking and we are getting some vertical development, but at the same time, if No one's on the site. Things are looking a little bad here, and you can see here exactly why putting that impact hole is so useful. Able to just peek out that one hole rather than having to, you know, play around with the doorway and kind of leave himself a little bit more prone to flanks. As they also have to vault through to get around, slowing them down just that little bit more. 15 seconds left on the clock.
15 seconds to go.
2 defenders left alive. They're going to try to hold it out, as they most definitely can in the situation, but Thatcher going to be able to get the plant, as they do have site control, since that wall has already been destroyed. Actually, a lot of walls have been destroyed. Ender Pikmin going to get the kill onto Han Mono, and Ajax going to take one right back, as Ender Pikmin going to try to clutch this out for his team on the site.
He is the last one alive. There are 2 I see in sight. The third one, all 3 are in sight. They're not exactly sure where he is, but again, they don't need to peek him. He has to peek them, as he's going to land the first one on a Party Kid, but at a massive cost to his HP. Now with only 10 left, 1 shot is going to be all he needs, as the time is slowly going to tick away. He's either going to have to pick this rotate hole or the other rotate hole, and they have angles on each, as the Thatcher from... He's not even going to need to peek. They can win this on time at this point. This round is over. He's going to go for the frag, and unfortunately, he's not going to be able to land it. CPP is going to take the second round in similar fashion to the way they did last map, being able to come back from losing the first round.
I just want to highlight really interesting way of defending this. As you can see there, generally speaking, 2 of the most important walls on Bakery to kind of just make sure the attackers do not have access to were just left soft and put a rotate hole on it. A little bit interesting decision to see that coming from UCR, is it does give your roamers a little bit more flexibility and your anchors a little more flexibility onto how they want to defend it. But at the same time, that's also a free entry for the attackers once they get control, or if they just, you know, walk in guns blazing. I'm not too sure if I'm quite a fan of it, but we'll see if it makes a return on the when they go back, or if they go back to kitchen, as we are now heading into reading room fireplace. And honestly, I'm expecting a little bit of interesting hold here from UCR, as last time they did manage to get really comfortable with the the lobby hold, the consulate. So I'm kind of curious to see if some of that energy or the mentality behind it kind of transfers over to this site, since it is also generally the least favorite site for most defenders, as you do have some verticality to deal with, as top floor, definitely a lot of soft areas for them to just breach open. I believe it's around bar, cocktail, and in freezer area there. Allows them to just immediately get full sight onto reading side, and I don't think that the other one on fireplace has as much, but still definitely a little bit more of an annoying area to try to hold as well, since there is the windows and the entire side of mining to watch the attackers push from.
It is imperative that they get those hatches, and just with the whole third floor, as you said, being completely soft, they're going to be very, very vulnerable unless they post up a strong roam upstairs. They're going to need to be able to hold for a long time too, especially with that balcony there. They can just drop and immediately get some picks into reading.
Yeah, reading is definitely the site to be attacking here. It just allows the attackers to just get so much control from above, and then, as you said before, just immediately drop down the giant what's it called, skylight area? Not skylight. Either way, just drop down, immediately jump into the door, smoke plant, and go, go, go. And we'll be able to see now the drone work coming in, trying to make sure this top floor is going to be secure to drop into, as this is probably by far the riskiest part of the entire operation for the attackers. It's the top floor, just always so hard to push in as an attacker due to the limited amount of angles you can push in from. Looks like they'll be opting to all drop more toward Red Hatch, kind of allowing them to take the more horizontal approach into attacking this, and pushing toward the dock and the Jaeger, who gets taken down with the headshot from Ajax. And now at this point, it's just Boomer Bill left upstairs, and he's going to be left to fend off as his fellow ACOG boy is downstairs, and takes the shots onto the... Oh my goodness, goes down as he pulls out the stim pistol as well. Did take some shots onto the thermite, give him a little bit wounded, as Party could just finish him off, and Ender Pikmin gonna get something out of it as he takes down Hanmano. The sledge is gone. Now it's just a buck left for soft breach. Still not a bad situation for CPP altogether, as they do have one defender left, it seems to say. The last of the ACOG boys goes for some shots, finishes off the thermite that the doc left for him, but unfortunately will get taken down to Ajax from above.
Just like that, this is the first time that CPP has led tonight, but that round they took in very, very dominating fashion, taking a little bit to feel out the third floor roam and then just absolutely crushing it. You saw both hatches opening at the same time, Jaeger getting picked off, the Doc really just not being able to res himself in time, and the push down the stairs. It's very, very dominant from CPP, and it seems like they're looking to wake up here and take it.
Yeah, they could see a lot more comfort on CPP attacking this site, as generally speaking, the minimum case scenario you want from attack on this map would be a 4-2 scoreline, because at least that way you get a little bit of leeway to lose one round and still be able to push it to a win. And as you can see here, we're already at the 2 wins here on attack, and it's still on our 4th round, so that's still a lot of time for the attackers to still capitalize, maybe get themselves like a 3-3 or a 4-3, 4-2 on the other side. So CPP definitely in a very comfortable and kind of, I would say, the leading position overall.
Attackers need to locate
It's
and
like, well,
defuse
we'll
the
be
bomb.
seeing the double camera operators. We do have the Maestro and the Valkyrie coming out, making sure we get that intel. This is a very big site, and generally speaking, because of this, it's kind of a little bit hard to keep line of sight of if they're planting or not, since if you really look at it, all the way from Cocktail to all the way to where that bar plant is, really long way and area to cover. So the Mara cameras will definitely come into play as the round starts to end the end
10 seconds
half of
remaining.
it, as they will be throwing these cameras all over the place.
5 seconds to insertion.
Ooh, it's going for the outside camera as well. It's going for the exact same spot, and you know, at this point, ooh, okay, a little bit delay. They might see the cam get tossed out. Actually, do have an IQ as well, so if she does check on that side, that cam will be dead. But they will still get a little bit of information of which side they're repelling up. 2 minutes, 40 seconds. Still gotta push up and still get that little bit of drone work there. You can see the Blackbeard coming into play this round too. Is Blackbeard known to just dominate windows? It looks like he did opt to take the DMR over the assault rifles. I do see some people take. I'm always interested to see why is, but I am a terrible window and Blackbeard players, so I'm always, my guesses are always usually wrong. Oh my goodness.
You know, looking back through my notes here, last time UCR took this upstairs site, it was the first round. CPP ended up bringing a Montaigne with him, and UCR, led by the Jaeger, Desists, yeah, ended up picking up a triple, just completely dominating them on that roam. They're pushing from a different direction this time. They're getting some different results so far.
Yeah, this might be a little bit big here, as the Ash is just pushing up the
I take
white
that
stairs
back.
there. But if there was no Legion mines, because we can't really see the Legion mine indicator, but we could definitely see that there was no barbed wire, so there was not that much stopping her from just immediately running up. But thankfully, there was 2 Legion goos, actually I think 3 total, to stop her from being able to push up and actually put her health down. Now she's gonna play a little bit more reserve with the mute, not that far away, getting ready to just immediately swing out if he needs to. Be able to see a little bit of more drone work on the top floor. It looks like they will see the mute there for sure. And Ash, gonna start positioning yourself to start to pinch onto him more. You see here the wallbang shots going out, but it does look like Ender Pickman will pick up the Blackbeard from behind. That's a really good pick for the side of UCR. And oh my goodness, tries to go for the rotate through the fireplace, but unfortunately you cannot sprint through that, and he will get slowed down and whittled down little by little by Hanmono as he takes him out, and Nico gonna take down Party Kid as soon as they try to push into Piano here using the small little angle here. And that's a really smart play here, as another one is hiding behind that Piano, just waiting for a push up and then maybe capitalize, but looks like he will be spotted out, so he's just gonna sit there and play passively and wait for someone to push him. And oh my goodness, as you can see here, the angle from beneath the Piano gonna take down the Thermite, bringing it down just to Roki Boy, and that's UCR's victory on the top floor. UCR
Again,
definitely
yeah, completely taking.
signs. Like,
Oh no, we're
signs of
talking.
life.
I'm sorry.
Oh
That's
boy,
unfortunate.
you love to see it happen.
I'm gonna update my notes real quick.
And we'll be returning over to kitchen cooking side now, as I do believe last time, yeah, this is where it was the top floor where CPP was kind of struggling a little bit to attack, but then once it hit the other two sites, they definitely did show a lot more stronger presence and stronger play on it overall. I'm kind of curious to see if UCR decides to take the same setup again, leaving open those rotations on the major walls. A little bit risky, but I think technically in the last round, it didn't really pay off too much as the attackers just kind of got themselves downstairs and, oh, don't need to open the wall. It's already open for us. Just go through this. Actually, I'm kind of curious to see the pick into Thatcher here. The Bandit, I mean, okay, the Bandit pick will be enough to opt to bring a Thatcher, but considering the last setup may not be a little bit questionable, but it looks like they're gonna try to just reinforce out that wall instead of just leaving it slightly open and leaving themselves open for punishment that way. Give it a little bit more of a traditional hold and try to keep some defense rounds for themselves. See, your Boomer Bill looks
once again the bakery hold. Last time CPP took this. Now we aren't seeing the castle like we saw on the last time. So as you said, things are going to be very, very different on the defending side, looking for more information.
Oh yeah. And especially with this such big site, and honestly speaking, I feel like this is one of those sites that trying to rely off the default cams itself really doesn't paint you a picture of anything going on. As a lot of the default cameras are kind of just placed in like either easy to shoot out places within 3 seconds, meaning you can really be anywhere and shoot it out, therefore not really giving you that much information when it's gone, or in sites that's kind of niche and like, for example, this one in the hall here that Big Z has his drone near. If that cam goes down, you know that they're somewhere on first floor, but at some point, but at the same time, it doesn't really paint you like a accurate picture. Like, okay, they could be in reading room or like fireplace. It's quite a big range. Ooh, the vigil line's gonna be used to get rid of a little bit of the intel of where the vigil is, as he's in a very prime spot to capitalize on this. Looks like the thermite will be peeking out, but unfortunately the vigil kept his crosshair in the wrong part of the doorway, and Big Z will capitalize on that, get the headshot on him immediately, and the first line scan will go out afterwards.
Once again, very, very thorough drone work upstairs. With the exception of the vigil, it doesn't seem as though there's anyone else to be found up there. The Valk, a lot of times you're seeing her in the roaming potential, playing back in sight. Bandit, meanwhile, is in a duel with this thermite through these reinforced walls, trying to make sure he doesn't get picked off from the one player he knows is out there in the lobby. Oh, just possibly seeing a little bit of his back right there. No engagement will come just yet.
Let's see them.
Also, we'll just see the line kind of split here away from his teammates. Gonna be using the call to see if he could push onto any of the attackers, but I think even if there was someone in that corner, he's technically kind of pushing a little slow to capitalize, but that's okay because he's alone. As the Jaeger will get spotted out, and Nico gonna take down the Lion. Now the defenders know, hey, we can run again, guys. Don't worry about it. I got this. Smoke and opt to go more toward bakery side and see if he can get the shots onto long hall. It looks like Big Z and Party Kid gonna try to go for the wall and freezer. Unfortunately, Boomer Bill just a second late on that. Will get punished for it as he gets taken down. One defender left now from the smoke, and he's gonna try to walk into sight. Recoil, a little bit of a hiccup there as Roki Boy ends up taking a lot of health off of him, but he will take him down as the Big Z and Party Kid just gonna walk immediately in and gun him down from the doorway. As you can see, the pre-fire coming out here. For some reason, every single time, like, I think to say Big Z, I keep thinking to myself, yeah, Big Z and the boys are going in. I don't know. I think it's the ACOG boys that got drilled in.
Me and the boys about to hot breach into sight.
It's the ACOG boys versus Big Z and the boys. Here it is.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing much more well-contested match here. Especially this being CPP's map and being, despite the fact that this is a defender-sided map, CPP is up 3-2 here as we're approaching the half. They could take a 4-2 lead, especially going into the switch. That would be very strong for them.
Oh yeah, and at this point too, like, even if they end up taking a 3-3 split, that's still not a bad. That's still a very favorable split. So I think at this point here, they're just trying to keep the momentum going as much wins as they can on attack, and just make their jobs that much easier on defense. And who knows? We might actually, UCR might actually just be a stronger attacking team on this side of the map, and might just end up seeing a very different play of Cafe than normal tradition.
Especially, as we keep saying, given this is the open league, you really never know what's going to happen. A lot more things can be viable. Just a lot of unorthodox things you're not used to seeing. All sorts of stuff can come out of the woodwork here.
Yeah, definitely a place where, experiment, obviously not super hard experimentation, but a little bit of experimentation here and there definitely ends up making quite a bit of a difference overall, as you do throw off quite a bit of teams off, even when they're the more like organized teams. Might actually just throw them for a little bit of a loop, and suddenly, hey, we're actually gonna decide to leave this wall soft. Ooh, on Mono, gonna be playing the line again. Gonna be trying to bring that anti-roam, but Vigil's still in play, so definitely taking advantage of that buff that got added to him, where he can finally no longer get caught out to the lion scan, which is obviously, to me, that made no sense. But yeah, you have a mute jammer strapped on your back, and you're gonna tell me you still get spotted to a lion? Makes no sense. Ooh, desist with the roam on the top floor. Gonna be using that holographic angle to kind of give him that little bit extra boost on those short angle peaks, as the angle grip allows you to zoom in that much quicker. So he's gonna pre-fire out the window too.
We've seen him be very dominant playing the Jaeger. He's going to switch off it a little bit. Maybe to try something new. I mean, they are down by one round here. Things aren't necessarily going exactly how he would want them to go.
And here it is. As you
That's not to say he hasn't performed well. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. The lion scan immediately goes out, and he's gonna just use his ability to get a move while doing it. But IQ gonna also flush him out right from behind. Really well played from the attacker side of the CPP. Ooh, looks like we're gonna get a little bit more drone work here. They're gonna see Mute? I don't think they actually see Mute in that corner there. He's gonna allow himself just kind of play a little more passively, but I don't think it'll matter too much, as it does look like they're trying to go for Freezer. Just Big Z just trying to watch his angles, and at this point, I think they're just kind of more so waiting till they can flush out the anti-breach, but that's just Mute, so they could really kind of get that wall once the Thatcher throws his EMP over. As Ender Pikmin gonna keep holding this angle, immediately jump in from that lion, playing super risky. Oh, okay, I see what happened. I think that Mute Jammer actually did reach that drone all the way over there. So, and really good punish from that Mute to play that small area.
Not being able to see him and just completely eating that shotgun as he hops through the hole. No way to fight against that. But now, there's only 35 seconds left. Each smoke is 10 seconds. And I believe he has 2 of them left. It doesn't really seem like they're going to be able to push through the freezer unless they do so in the last couple seconds. They're either going to need to get a pick vertically, which it looks like they have. The Thatcher is going to take out Ender Pikmin. It's now 2v3 with only 20 seconds left. The smoke is still on the board, and there's the last Toxic Babe right there. They're going to have to push in the last 10 seconds, and there's some interesting ragdoll there in the window.
It looks so brutal.
Absolutely. He's going to get the spray, and there it is. It's a 2v1 now. Ajax doesn't have he does have the diffuser, but he's not going to be able to get the plant down in time. UCR is going to clutch this out with a furious flurry of kills there at the end of this round.
Yeah, closing out this half on a 3-3 split. Definitely not the most favorable for UCR, but definitely could have been a lot worse, especially, as you said before, that round just came down to the wire of just picks going left and right. So I think in that situation, definitely could have been a lot worse than it almost was. And they're going to have a little bit more work to pull on this attack here, as now at this point, historically, Cafe being super defender-sided as it is, going to make it a little bit of an uphill battle compared to how much CPP needs to pull out here. And it looks like we'll be going to Bar Cocktail first, bringing out the Goyo, using those shields for every single angle, and allowing the defenders to just be able to stall out and sit more comfortably in all these angles. Oh, actually, interesting note here. They actually 6-picked off of the Twitch into Zofia. I'm going to go ahead and take a wild guess and say the Ashe only has 2 of those charges from her breaching rounds. So if there's 3 Goyo shields and they're holding down, something a little bit more essential, there's not as much to stop the Goyo. Not a lot to stop the Goyo from being able to stall out the round using those shields. As the second you walk into a room and you see that shield there, you're now kind of forced to watch it because of those holes that just got added in with the recent changes. As those holes really just allow any defender just to be able to sit right behind it and just immediately pre-fire, and it's such a scary threat that honestly speaking,
10 seconds left before
there's not too much you could do about it. And it looks like Roki Boy gonna try to cheese it right in the middle of the door. It's costing a lot of time though. Is he gonna get it? Oh no, it's just gonna keep snap. I think it's at this point it's just gonna keep snapping between the doors. I think he has to go a little bit more forward in order for it to land.
Yeah, and that delay is going to cost him now as they're going to be throwing up the reinforcements after the prep phase. It's not going to cost him that much. Again, there's no way for them to rush the site that quickly, but that is time he could have spent setting up if he'd been able to get that shield a little earlier on.
Yeah, and he still does have one more shield. Looks like he's gonna be putting in the White Hall. Again, this shield right here in particular, such a scary shield because if you take that piano control, oh, the window gonna get it? No, okay, no, it's not. Party Kid though, gonna get the headshot onto a Boomer as he. Yeah, okay, it's Boomer. As he pushes up, and Desis gonna take down Party Kid as well, right back. Really quick pick. That's the Sophie off the board, so at this point, the Goyo is gonna be able to sit a lot more comfy with the shields, because that's a lot of the breaching power gone from the side of at UCR. Ooh, looks like they're gonna be going for a little bit of a drop in here as the Thermite gonna be trying to get for this ball nice and early, trying not to waste too much time, and kind of also allow themselves to ignore the threat that Goyo shield over by the doorway is able to give off, but it doesn't look like anyone's playing piano too much. So they're going to give this area up after they realize it from these two drones pushing through. As Desis is going to try to drone the staircase, but he actually doesn't check the far corner, so didn't actually see the Goyo too much. Does get his drone killed, so he does figure that someone's watching at the very least. Going to opt to see use some flashbangs, kind of flash him out. Doesn't look like he's going to get too much going off it as he opts to go more toward reading and play from below. Nico
So
here.
we're going to see now. It's a 4v4. 1 minute, 20 seconds left. The attackers have complete control of piano. Doesn't seem like the defenders are contesting that as much, though we are going to see a drop over by White Stairs. Does seem that the majority of defenders are playing over on the east side of that map, over by White Stairs. That would put them in a position to rotate up red. But that's going to assume that the rest of the defenders are going to be able to hold sight in time for them to come over. Either that or Goyo just walking through here. He's going to step in the track stingers and give himself away here soon. But Desist is going to take two. It's now Goyo going to look for the wall bank, and he's going to get the diffuser. He's going to get the guy planting. It's now going to be a 3-2. 40 seconds left, but he's going to get cleaned up by Ender Pikmin. It's now a 3-1 advantage. Hanmo, the last one left, the Doc on the ACOG, but he's going to have to find 3 picks through the smoke, the first of all being the plant man. However, Desist has been downed downstairs. The plant is going to go down here, and they're going to back off. All they have to do is hold. Once again, Hanmo is going to have to push them.
And at this point, too, the Gridlock going to be really showing off of how strong that Alpha operator she is. As at this point, if she has any stingers left alive, she could just throw it right onto the diffuser and immediately stop Hanmo from being able to push up. But Nico just going to play a little bit aggressive there and crouch right underneath the gun and just take out the Doc from Hanmo. And it looks like we're going to round 8 here, as the attackers from UCR did end up getting the first round onto bar, showing, you know what, actually, we all just like attacking this a little bit more. We have a confident attack, and it looks like CPP going to be opting to take bar again, just trying to run it back and really kind of stick to it for now, as they do have a little bit of area to kind of, even if they lose this round, it's not completely the end of the world, although they are in a little bit of a deficit, and it makes them have to play a little bit more reserved compared to as before. Ooh, the Ella getting 6 picked off too.
So we're going to see, once again, they're going to look to defend third floor, the Cocktail Lounge, something that didn't exactly work out for them last round. Just a couple issues in terms of the roam, getting pushed from a very, very strong UCR team, but that's not to say that they don't have the firepower to deny them the plant this time around.
Yeah, for sure. Last round, we ended up seeing, I believe it was Party Kid, just ended up getting taken down early with with his aggressive Jaeger. Did take down the Zofia along with him, so that's not a bad operator to get rid of. Really gave the Goyo a lot more room to be able to use his shields, but unfortunately, I don't think we ended up seeing too much, like, we saw the shields go down, but I do know the one that was at this doorway here in Piano didn't really get too much like light as they ended up opening a piano wall
10
and
seconds
ended up
remaining.
getting, just completely going around it and completely ignoring it. But I think at that point, if they stuck to not using any utility on that, even if they do get challenged by another shield, the Ash is going to destroy it. So they actually did opt to not take the Goyo this round, as their placements did not really work too much in their favor. You can see the attack starting out here is they do. It looks like they're going to bring the same lineup, bringing in the Jackal instead overall, and over. I believe that over the Ash pick. So we're going to see hopefully the Vigil just get roamed out a little bit harder. As I do believe actually Party Kid's footprints might be a little exposed from where they're playing. It looks like they're going to be droning out from mining side looking for Party Kid and getting ready to just converge on him, but Drone will get taken out within mining. I do believe that is the Vigil getting spotted. And he's going to use his ERC just to keep himself hidden that much longer.
I do want to point out that this is the first time that Jackal's been used in this match so far, as Jaeger the Party Kid is going to take some damage from the, I believe that was the Jackal, however, not dealing any back himself. It's the first engagement we've seen this round.
I do think the Jackal got picked first round, but it was like a top floor push. I'm not too sure if it got like really used that much, as it was a lot of horizontal play in the first place, and there was not too much roam pressure, I think, on that first round, since it is a bar to hold. And oh boy, we're gonna see the Kaid with that 44 semi-automatic pistol and that TCSG getting ready to just play that short angle. That gun is a shotgun and a sniper at the same time, I swear to God.
Absolutely mint at the Invitational, being able to pull off two of the cleanest picks I think I've ever seen back-to-back with that gun. Being able to get the defuse down, that's not something I want to forget for a long time. However, you need to be precise. You need to be right on. You got to hit those heads. Otherwise, you're probably going to lose the gunfight.
Looks like the Girdlock trap's going to be thrown out toward that TCSG. Fortunately, not going to live long, as he just immediately shot them out. As Party Kid going to try to make a little bit of a flank here onto the attackers on the second floor. As, oh my goodness, kills just go left and right. It looks like we got Tyler taking out one, Roki Boy getting one for himself, and Boomer Bill getting one for himself as well, bringing us down to a 4v3, 40 seconds left on the clock. Roki Boy just gonna go back up inside a freezer, but get taken down as Nico pushed up. Boomer Bill pushing it from the other side. Now Hamano put in a little bit of an uncomfortable spot here, as the smoke goes down and immediately gets taken down by the Jackal.
Wow.
Ooh, he actually just sprayed right through.
Complete just dominance. I feel like from UCR, it was very contested. It was back and forth, and then in the last 30 seconds there, just everything just went crazy. Kills left and right. In the end, UCR being able to come up on top, cement themselves, put themselves one round from match point. And it looks as though CPP is not going to bother trying to take that third floor site for a third time in a row, instead opting for another similarly viable site, kitchen, bakery.
Yeah, definitely this is the time where you now decide to switch to kitchen, as giving them one more round will end up putting them in match point, and then you're kind of just fighting for a draw at that point. And that would end up giving them a partial win overall, since they did win the previous map. So this is definitely the time where CPP is going to start kind of just playing a little bit more safer with the picks, and if something doesn't work out in a big way, then definitely just rotate sites. There's no way, you're not going to take that big a risk twice at that point. And you're going to be seeing the castle on the side of UCR as well. Gonna wonder if they use the same setup, as we do see so far the same type of stuff set up, as that bar wall and the coat check getting reinforced off. Yeah, it looks like we're actually seeing the exact same setup coming in from them. So a lot of comfort from both teams when this setup is brought out. It's almost one for one the same.
5 seconds to go.
Also, yeah, the lovely thing about the setup is it completely locks off the freezers, rotating from freezer into the other side of bakery. But at the same time, I feel like that's a little bit of a mistake, is that it still works the same for the side of the defenders, where if they go into freezer side, their only way of rotating back toward that and go for a flank is if they push into that little Christmas VIP section. And that might end up leading to a little bit of a mistake from CPP here. Actually, not even, because they actually castled off the ball entirely too and reinforced it. There actually is no rotation back toward the Brazier side, so
That
if
is
they
true.
just go there, they kind of give themselves a lot more breathing space. They don't have to worry about brown stairs and white stairs. I think that's a little bit of a mistake.
We are droning out new Balk, as both teams have been very consistent in doing, very much top-down effort
Ooh.
in all sites. We're going to see the Gridlock hop right in and immediately cut off the rotate on these white stairs down to the first floor. Those track stingers are out, but instead of retreating, she's going to force the issue. I believe she's actually covering herself from the upstairs. I'm sorry, I have my sights backwards. Boomer Bill, meanwhile, opening up a rotate to cut off the rotate from red stairs with that hole through the wall. It appears, though, they're going to leave whoever's upstairs, still upstairs, they're going to leave them there. They're just not going to let them come back downstairs. That's fine. They'll wait for the defenders in this case
don't
to
open
rotate
that.
back to them.
Don't open it, don't open it. Because if he leaves this closed at this point, they could just... Actually, no, I think he actually does have to, because they need to pressure more than one side here. As Cass is going to be opting to go up the staircase, the wall's open now. Allowing the Cass to play that long angle and get a little bit more of that pressure going. We'll take down the Jackal, who was playing above. That's a shotgun down, too, so that is a little bit of a good pick to get off to stop the upper floor pressure. And now at this point, Gridlock going to just walk into this Christmas side for free as they ended up taking so much control of it. Smoke Grenade going to go out to cover. C4 getting thrown out, but Roki Boy is going to get the headshot instead. And oh my goodness, getting another kill onto Tyler as he walks in. And Party Kid going to just push up as well really fast. Roki Boy, I think he had to just... he had to just immediately run all the way from top floor to the brown stairs and into where the attackers are pushing from. And Nico gonna opt playing toward Bakery, but he's gonna find I believe that was the smoke and take him down with the headshot here. 1 HP remaining. This is looking like a little bit of a one-sided battle as Roki will take him down here. And looks like the defense setup did work out for them, as instead of opting to play for this long angle and giving themselves this way to rotate, he ended up just rotating the long way around, which is a lot riskier. You're kind of forcing yourself to push into the people who are playing vertical, and the people who are playing vertical most definitely are waiting for you to come by. But ended up working out for him, as he did win a lot of the gunfights he won the gunfight against the Jaeger. I don't think anyone else was around the top floor, so worked out for him in the end there.
So we're seeing once again, CPP is going to look to take that third floor site. This is their third time taking it now, having lost the last 2 times they played it. But again, you never know what they can pull out. Slightly different operator picks, I do believe. That being said, other than that, they might have something completely unorthodox that they could pull out. Last time, it was their roam. UCR just being able to feel out the roam and then push from just a direction that the roam was maybe a little weaker in, something that they decided. However, knowing that they might be able to adjust, or UCR just might completely mess up here.
And this is definitely the point where CPP needs to start winning these consecutively if they want to prevent a partial, at the very best case scenario, partial win happening. If they want to take this map and win it since it is also their map pick, they most definitely need to pull it out right here, right now, as UCR is going to be trying to take the overall win for themselves with both maps at a high score line. Definitely pressure's on here, and top floor, as you said before, been a little bit shaky for the side of CPP. So at this point, they really gonna have to either kind of adjust and pulse something new here, or potentially just try the same thing again and pray to God it works better this time.
The first time we did see more solid roam in Piano Cigar Lounge. Second time we saw a more solid roam over by White Stairs. However, both times UCR ended up pushing mostly from this red stairs side where Hanmo is playing. They did the second time, I believe, have one pushing White Stairs, but he was a little bit more of a distraction. In the end, the Gridlock putting down those track stingers, making the rotate over from White Stairs difficult. We're going to see how they choose to push it this time, if they choose maybe a similar approach, or something a little more varied.
We see some drone work going on to the first floor here. You can see if they can find any of the roamers early out. No vigil this time, so no amount of bait that they can throw out there. Gridlock and immediately use your track stingers to kind of be able to cover the thermite for when he decides to go for the plant. as they make sure that the entire lower floor is clear. And I don't think anyone's playing here particularly at the moment. Kind of prompting DCIS to possibly go in for this push on the first floor and immediately try to work the white stairs like he's been doing in the past. Ooh. Nico gonna be also opting just to repel onto the side of the windows. Oh, it looks like they're gonna spot out the Jaeger in the hallways. He's just gonna just run in. Party Kid gonna already get pressure from the windows as He's just kind of go for the wall bang shots here. Put a lot more pressure, force him out into a little bit of own territory. As Party Kid trying to just lurk around here, trying to keep himself alive. Boomer Bill is gonna take down Hanmono, and at this point, looks like Party Kid is gonna just sit here and wait a little bit and try to fight every single angle. Will win the side of Boomer Bill, and then try to mainly push back in, thinking it's safe. But DCIS took back the space before he can get control of it again.
They just completely pinched. They had 3 people pushing him from both directions there, really trying to get the Roamer Party Kid off the board there. He's been doing really well. He's been putting up a decent amount of kills every round. Definitely someone that UCR needs to take off the board if they want to succeed in this push.
And I see the
As we
Thermite.
can see, yes, I was just going to comment on that. Once again, getting the top of red stairs open, uncontested, that little bar where Mint had his ace so many years ago.
Roki Boy actually holding this angle a little bit aggressively. He doesn't need to get that far down the staircase. After getting droned, gonna actually just back up and try not to accidentally get pre-fired out. As Big Z gonna get that headshot onto Ender Pikmin, trying to keep it going for the defenders, but unfortunately Nico gonna take down Roki Boy. Now it's just at 30 seconds left. Not too bad of a situation for the defenders, but definitely gonna have to try to hold this out. As Big Z gonna manage to get another one. Ajax gonna take down one. And now it's just down to a 2v1 here. As I'm Tyler, gonna have to make the effort here, and unfortunately will not be able to stop the Yalda, and Ajax gonna finish it out for his team.
And there it is. CPP has taken a 3rd floor defense, 3rd time's the charm. Here it was for them. Seems as though just the Roamer downstairs. I'm completely drawing a blank with the Roamer. The Jaeger downstairs.
DCIS, I believe.
It was DCIS on the other team, but in this case, it was Party Kid being able to waste a lot of time despite him being taken off the board. That may have made the difference.
He did take down one along with him. As you can see, he was getting pushed from about every single angle, and he ended up playing that the smart way, where in the end, if you try sitting there and doing nothing, you're just gonna eventually inevitably get pushed from every single angle all at once. You have to aggro one side in particular, take them down, and push out that way. Use your freedom. And he did take down Boomer Bill by doing so, giving himself the freedom to push out over to red stairs, maybe go down the stairs and kind of reset the situation and keep himself alive and going. But unfortunately, he did just end up reloading and trying to take back the angle, thinking he still had the ability to walk back in. But unfortunately, I believe it was the Sis who was just in that room and ended up taking him down right back and ending his reign of tyranny. Reign of tyranny, there we go. Ooh, looks like he will end up getting the Goyo shield he was looking for. Yeah, okay. I think he was just going too far forward. This time he opted to go a little bit back to get in the middle of the doorway. Kind of curious to see if they end up playing off of it, because I do believe last time they kind of just abandoned it altogether, and they're just going to go for the wall. So it ended up not really doing that much in the first place. But I'm curious to see maybe, this time, since they did get the more spot they're comfortable with playing around. And they also have a bandit on that wall, and there is no Thatcher being brought from the attackers, but there is still that window to get rid of those jammers, or those bandit wires, especially with the side of IQ, to just shoot them without needing to expose yourself too much.
Just want to see once again, as always, top-down push coming out here. The Buck being taken, I don't believe that's an operator that UCR has played a ton of on this map. Switching between their Jackal and the Gridlock, and now throwing in the Buck. That is, of course, with a Thermite who they've always taken, and the Ash, played by... Oh, no.
The Ash is by the DCIS there.
Yes. Sorry, I did see the DES. I was completely drawing a blank on the second half of his name. We're both tired. It's been
the
a
11 p.m. East Coast at least. 11 p.m. gas times are always fun, especially when the round timers just get stuck to like round 11 now. but
Mhm.
we are in it for the long haul. We will make it. We'll keep alive as we go through this.
Without a
And
doubt.
there looks like the drop gonna come in. Thermite gonna be placing his charges onto the wall. Gonna be able to get that wall open. Minute 30 seconds in, as the defender's gonna back off, play a little bit more defensively, and try not to get picked off here, as this is the uncomfortable site. The numbers advantage definitely going to make a big difference here. As Big Z going to get in a little bit of action here, as DCS is on the other side of him in that room. Looks like the barricade's going to stop them from being able to kind of walk in and peek freely. But Jong does spot him a little bit. Going to shoot it out immediately as he sits there at it for a second. But looks like he's going to back off a little bit. No, he's going to play around the fireplace side. A little bit risky because he's kind of limiting his movement a little bit. But looks like he's going to just prompt to just wait for the breaks to happen on the barricade. As Boomer is going to take down Roki, and Party Kid going to take down Boomer, as I'm Tyler refrags and takes down Party Kid right back. Now we're 40 seconds in. Some kills on the board. You can see the attackers try to push in a lot more aggressively as they have the numbers advantage, and Ajax is going to take advantage of that, taking down D-Sys now. 30 seconds. The defender's in a little bit more of a comfortable spot here, but Nico going to try to bring that right back, take down Big Z, as now there's just two left. Just push is coming in from it looks like more on reading room side as they try to pinch it from both sides. I'm Tyler, gonna also help out, be able to breach a wall if he decides to go for it, but there's 15 seconds of the clock, they gotta go in. Han Mono gonna be able to take one down, take down two down, sorry. And now it's just down to I'm Tyler as he gets taken down as well. CPP putting it to match point.
Wow. In a strong set, CPP has now won 4 rounds in a row. UCR hitting a bit of a slump, and at the absolutely worst possible time, CPP taking this to match point now, winning a site that they haven't won after it took them 3 tries to win it, but now that they've hit it, they've hit their stride here. UCR is struggling to keep up a little bit. At this point, they're going to have to hope for a tie. CPP looking to take this map and put it away right here.
And we're going to be going back to kitchen service, which, if I do recall correctly, CPP ended up winning on their first try, using Roki Boy to just rotate up the red stairs, win the gunfight against the Jackal who was playing there, immediately come down the other side, and just start taking down all the defenders alongside of the Mute. And really just dominant play from them there. This is definitely, they're definitely looking at a really good moral high ground here onto this round, as this is match point. If they win this, they could bring it to a draw for the series and end up with a decent scoreline compared. And if UCR ends up winning this one round right here, we get a partial win for UCR. So they're definitely still, their head still needs to be in the game, and there is no time for them to slouch, as partial win still not the worst thing to walk away with.
There absolutely are points on the table. There's plenty left to play for here. As we go into this bakery site, as you said, this is when CPP is done well on. They should be very confident here. UCR is now just looking to claw their way back and get a partial point here in the second map.
I'm curious to see, too,
come out of this round.
I'm curious to see if UCR ends up making a bit of an adjustment, as last time that, like, okay, because of the setup, Freezer is definitely a lot more favorable to push, because you don't have to deal with this castle setup, and they also kind of cut themselves off, so the only way they could flank you is by accessing the staircases on the first floor, or second floor. I'm curious to see if UCR ends up making a bit of an adjustment as they go a little bit aggressive and get that bandit wire, but I'm curious to see if they end up going for, you know, a little bit more of a flank watch and making sure they keep that going, because I think once they get that all well and good, they might be in a pretty good spot to just take the site. It looks like we'll be seeing another top-down approach, as like I said before. In order to actually take this map at all, you have to, oh my goodness, he is just going in. No fear whatsoever. Just sludge the hatches you're standing on top of it and just start dropping down and running in. I'll also get his teammate to drone it out a bit. Won't be doing it on that hatch though, as it definitely doesn't able to do it. Now, reason why you have to go top down here.
A bomb has been located.
If you go for the second floor only and ignore the third floor, a lot of the defenders could just sit up there and then shoot down from the little bit of a deck there onto your position, or possibly even use the verticality and you know, against you and just take you down. It's kind of like one of those things where, you know, you always want to be on the high ground and have the high ground, so the defenders just keep going up and up according to how the attackers are pushing in, and it looks like they ended up not having too much of a roam this time, kind of focusing more on the first floor site, so the attackers will be going in a lot more clear. Ooh, you get anything for that?
Wow, that's a very, very cheeky strat there. I don't think I've seen that before, but
Yeah,
very, very risky. It's going to pay off.
yeah, definitely a little bit of risk, as even though he doesn't cook the grenade, he may accidentally sledge the floor onto the where the struts are, so that the grenade doesn't fall down, as Party Kid will fall, or sorry, as Ender Pikmin will fall down to Party Kid, and then accidentally just end up wasting the grenade, but will end up paying off in the end. Party
And
Kid
that was his
also.
life on the line there, too. Just saw that grenade icon. Blink
And
red.
me,
Oh no, I'm Tyler and Nico going to pick up 2, but Party Kid's going to refrag them back. Looking at 3-3 man count, and now there's a conflict here on the red stairs. Nico just not looking in the right direction. Unfortunately, as his opponent has since rotated up, Tyler is going to lose the fight to, oh no, he's going to lose the fight over on the white stairs to Roki, I believe. Boomer now very close to sight, but the attack has since stalled out with 30 seconds left to play. Pings
yeah,
are coming out for the Jaegers. He's looking to flank, but the shots just aren't going to land yet. He's going to line up, possibly hit Boomer. One shot through the wall, but again, it's not going to be enough. Big Z is going to take down Nico. It's now 1v3. Boomer's going to take the one on the white stairs behind him, though. He has 2 more to go. 20 seconds to clutch this out. This is looking like a very, very strong case for the defenders here. As he's going to get another kill. It's a fantastic shot by Boomer. He only needs to find one more or get the plant down button. Oh, and Boomer's going to get it. Oh my gosh.
clutched
With the
it.
switch off at the last second, he's going to clutch out a 1v3 to take us to a tie here on map number 2, Cafe.
And that means that UCR ends up getting the overall partial win for the series, clutching it out in a very, very defender-sided area, as it was just 1v3 and they had control of the diffuser. Boomer Bill was kind of forced to just go for the frags there and ended up getting it with that F2 privilege there. And my goodness, Roki was allowed to just go for the flank again and wasn't really contested as much, as he ended up just immediately pushing down that staircase as they opened up the wall. Nothing was really brought to stop him from being able to do so again. Definitely capitalized on that overall. And
I
unfortunately,
still can't
since
believe
we do have a partial win, I do believe that means UCR does not get the interview. But that is still overall a fun match to watch.
Still can't believe Boomer Bill clutched that out. I thought when we switched at the end, that was the match just being over with him getting picked off. He had so little time, and he just turned it on right there, put up 3 kills in less than 30 seconds. I still can't believe he pulled that off. That was fantastic.
Yeah, definitely the clutch of the team there. Definitely, I bet he's currently watching back the stream to watch back that and just start popping off to his teammates and really getting hype overall. Really fun match to watch there, coming in from UCR and CPP. I just want to give a nice shout out to our lovely, lovely sponsors of CORSAIR, bringing in us those nice peripherals. I know definitely love their mouse and how it works, and also what's new, bringing allowing us to create our own merch. And also, I do believe before the end of this month we should see them enter into the store, being available for purchase. Not only that, but last but not least, Rogue Energy, for keeping us alive in the as you could tell, both of us a little bit on the tired side overall, but definitely Rogue Energy keeping us going. And if you use code CEA, I do believe you do get the 10% off still. So definitely check them out over on their side. And I've been Keldev and joined here today with Lamb Chops. And you have any final things you want to say before we head out?
Yeah, absolutely. Just want to thank everybody. This has actually been my NA debut. I did a little bit over in EU, but this is my first cast here with CEA. I just want to thank everyone for having me. I had a great time watching this match tonight and casting with you, Keldev. Looking forward to many more.
Oh yeah, likewise. And thanks again for everyone coming out, and have a good day or good night.
Thanks.
Sorry.
Have a
Oh
good
goodness.
night. One last.